Hello, fellow Helldivers, Thornton here, and you might be wondering, I was just in Chicago, but now I'm in the wilderness cutting down a tree for Christmas. We're going to be talking all about, well, a super Earth bomber coming to the game. We're going to go over everything you guys need to know about what new weapons of mass destruction we're going to be getting. But without further ado, let's jump into today's topic.
There seems to be a lot of stuff coming for Super Earth. In fact, Johan Pilstedt, the former CEO and now creative director, actually asked about giving us the best Eagle stratagem ideas, and someone actually said a heavy bomber carpet bomb with a high cooldown would be sweet. Fighter jet dropping in like 3 autonomous mini mechs that move around and help fight would be neat. Fighter jet dropping a bomb that opens up and does a high-powered 360 laser spin like Iron Man and Iron Man 2. And Pilstedt actually said yes, and then showed a Super Earth bomber, which looks completely done and modeled and going to be coming into the game in the very near future. In fact, this has been found in the game files by a couple of data miners as well, and they actually showed a comparison of how big this thing is. As next to a destroyer, it's actually not as tiny as you would think. So it looks like we're going to be getting a little bit of help in the near future to deal with these things. So it seems like space battles are getting closer and closer, especially with all the new flying vehicles being brought in. Not to mention other types of missions, such as an extraction one, which Ironsight showed here, actually talks about the Colony rover, which has been data mined for a while. We know that they were moved over to the dev build, but it looks like it's going to be an evacuate civilians mission, very similar to the ones where we go ahead and get them on the shuttles or on the doors on the bases, but instead we're going to transport them from one location to another using the Colony rover. This would make sense on how to introduce land vehicles into the game, because right now the maps may not be big enough and it may be too quick to finish a mission if we just run around in a vehicle blasting everything. Having a set designation for transport makes a lot more sense in the grand scheme of things, at least in my personal opinion, but I'm always interested in hearing your guys's. Now, along with the orbital cannons, there's also war crimes being committed by the automatons. Once again, coming from asunder in the data mine files, it seems that the automatons are processing large quantities of organic polynucleotides, and I'm actually very impressed, I think I pronounced that right, at a facility which they use to construct their nanoscale body armor. Liberate these assets and we can use it to protect defenders of democracy instead of heartless metallic killers. Right below that is actually the hive breaker drill objective, which we've already seen. That one's already in the game, but I don't believe the polynucleotides is yet in the game, along with the atmospheric neurotoxin gas. I could be wrong once again, but it is interesting to see more stuff come into the game with mission types like that. The one I'm very excited for is one actually about Illuminate research, which will be an upcoming mission type in the near future, where an extremely high value shipment of iridium crystals liberated at heavy cost from the Illuminate research facility at Blacker Mesa needs to be safely recovered to friendly territory. So we go in, we extract, we take something out, but that's not the only thing. It looks like we're going to actually be extracting the Illuminate themselves, as there is also game files for a proto-Illuminate VIP where we have to make sure it gets onto the shuttle home. Once again, it'd be interesting to see the Colony rover or any other vehicle come to the game where we have to transport it. There's a black box of experimental lightship Helvita that has been located on a glacier after the ship disappeared into hyperspace. The box contains invaluable data that could allow our scientists to crack the hyperdrive technology, potentially allowing jump-capable nuclear warheads. Once again, we are getting a ton of weapons of mass destruction with these mission types, and I can't wait to see all the carnage that we are able to unleash, once again, in democracy's name. But that's not all Helldivers, because according to some stuff found in the files by Ironsights, it's going to get even crazier with the vehicles we'll be seeing in the future. There is a player camera variables for flying vehicles. That is correct. Flying vehicles look like they're on the way, some form or another. I actually reached out to Ironsights and he was nice enough to explain vehicles, or at least the flying ones, and what we knew so far. They have their own unique camera controls, he let me know, and it's kind of like how when you enter a mech, the camera perspective changes from the default, and that means that we may be able to use flying vehicles at some point as they have unique camera values. This is actually pretty interesting. We've known of a couple other vehicles so far, such as the Colony rover, which is a vehicle that's been data mined that may be possibly driven by players. It is unknown whether it is a stratagem or if it spawns on missions, and as it points out in this post right here, we're not even sure if it's drivable yet. There's also a heavy and a light recon vehicle, and I'll play the gameplay clip in a minute so you guys can watch all the footage of how those function in the game and make up your own mind on whether you want to see them come in. Something important to know is right now they are currently removed from the game files. The devs took them out and they were about 70% done and then put onto a dev build. That means that they're either trying to finish it on the dev build or that they realized that it wouldn't function very well in the game. But like I said, let's go ahead and play the clip and then you guys can let me know if you think these would be viable for the future of Helldivers too.
Tagging location, northwest. Cancel that. Never mind. You will never destroy our way of life!
Let me know down below, fellow Helldivers, what do you think about this new Super Earth Bomber, and do you think it'll turn the tides of our warfare? Also, don't forget to check out the video on the top left and right corner where I cover more Helldivers 2 news on the daily. And until next time, everyone, thanks for stopping by, and the tree is down.